Welcome back to the Unbiased Opinion, where everyone's opinion is biased except ours. And this is a special episode because we are all together recording this, and we just saw Fast 10.
Fast X.
Fast X, yes. We just came from the theater. It's opening weekend. I'm proud to say that we saw it in an empty theater on a Sunday morning, kind of. And there's just so much to talk about with this masterpiece. But before we get into that, what did we all think of the movie?
It's terrible. I mean, come on.
I absolutely loved it. Ironically.
I loved it. It is amazing. I saw a couple people online saying this is the Fast, like their universe's Infinity War. And I agree. It is.
Can we stop using these horrible people always I hate when people compare stuff to Marvel. I hate when people compare stuff to Harry Potter. Can we use other literature to compare to?
No, it is their Infinity War, and it is so shameless and so stupid.
This is their Moby Dick.
But it's
what?
so.
It's another literature.
But it's so amazing, and I'm so glad that we saw it. So I guess we have to talk about that. This is part one of a trilogy now in the Fast universe.
We don't know yet for sure, right?
I think Vin Diesel confirmed it's going to be a 12th movie.
Oh my god!
Yeah, they're at the premiere, him and Michelle Rodriguez, and they, he basically said, hinted at it. He goes, "Oh, we might get in trouble," as a media.
Get in trouble. He's the producer.
It's a publicity stunt,
yeah. They probably knew for months there's going to be a 12th movie.
Great.
But we have two more of these movies, and what should we start with? I guess for one thing, I didn't know what was going on in the beginning because I have not seen the fifth movie at all. I knew there was a heist.
I did.
I knew there was a heist. I have not seen the second, third, fifth, and I've seen parts of 8.
Well, since you've seen it, could you just tell us that happened in the movie, right? They actually took the vault.
Yes, that actually happened in the movie.
That was old footage.
Okay.
All the scenes where they put Jason Momoa, that was added on. But
I figured that. But
they had the actor. That was
Yeah, I
all.
knew
That was
that was
actual
real.
footage.
Well,
I mean,
Paul Walker was
they
there,
didn't have.
too.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they could have, used the body.
So did The Rock actually double tap him?
I think so. I'm not.
It's cold-blooded.
I don't remember that part, but I do remember. I mean, how could you forget two Chargers pulling a bank vault?
Yeah.
And racing in the street with it,
Yeah, I do know that happened.
Actually, I know nothing about it except for that the first one The Rock was in. That's all I know.
Yeah,
about it.
that was the one where him and The Rock fought.
And that's when he met Yelena? Whatever her name is?
Elena.
Elena.
Yeah. I think that was also, too, the scene with... Because in this movie, it was almost like a callback when they were in Brazil and the gun standoff. That was in the fifth one because Vin Diesel and Paul Walker were, chilling and Hobbs comes in to, oh, you're under arrest. And he had that weird, I don't know why he had a southern accent at points. It was so inconsistent, but...
Well, you forget also that he was just drenched in sweat. I remember seeing that scene. He was wet.
Yeah, and then Vin Diesel and just goes, "This is Brazil," and then they all pull their guns on the agents. So it was kind of a callback. I was like, "Oh no."
Okay, because I feel like now I have to see that. I have to watch. Not that I really want to, but I feel like
that was the famous fight scene where The Rock requested that when Dom beat him in the fight, he didn't lose on his back. He wanted to be on his knees so the audience didn't think less of him.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah, what a pal. So I do know in the fourth movie, Letty dies, quote unquote. So she's not in the fifth movie. I don't know if you knew that, Greg.
Well, yeah, because I remember that was in Fast 6, right?
Yeah,
Where she comes back.
See, I really picked up with the franchise at the fifth one. That was the one I more of just kept watching. I didn't...
The sixth one was the first one I saw. And then I saw 7, and I started rewatching them. But that's besides the point. This one immediately starts with...
Well, because this feels more like a sequel to the fifth one than the ninth one.
Yeah,
that's why it's I feel like I should have watched it. I didn't know.
I like how they had that moment when after Vin Diesel causes all that destruction on the bridge and it knocks off Jason Momoa's character, he's in the water and his eyes just open up immediately like Jason at the end of a movie.
But we should probably give a plot.
What's there to give?
That's Craig.
Yeah, Craig, how about you start us off with the plot?
It's the same thing as every other Fast and the Furious movie. Some guy wants to tear apart Dom's family and is going to very extreme, absurd lengths to get rid of his family. That's it. And a lot of street racing.
Yes, that's very true.
And acts of domestic terrorism, too. You can't forget that.
And you can't forget how... the movie never addresses this, and none of these movies do, that Dom's all about family, but he very callously just slaughters and ruins lots of families with his rampage.
Well, it's like we see a lot of movies, like, oh, I'm, huge, like, Christian family, then, like, he's murdering innocent people.
Yeah.
Indiscriminately.
I mean, I don't know how many people Dom killed in this movie. He was using a gun.
But he's got a rosary, so it's like, oh, it's okay.
But he was just, like, killing people with little regard for family.
Yeah, well, again,
same with John Cena in the cannon car.
Yeah, that was crazy.
He suicide bombed like 5 cars.
Well, let's talk about Jason Momoa, who I thought was amazing.
I absolutely loved him.
He looked like he was having the time of his life, and we were saying that to each other in the theater.
Yeah, I compared it to Arnold in as Mr. Freeze. Like, they know the role and like the actual movie is not that good, but they just take it and they roll with it.
I mean, I feel like at this point, that's what you have to do.
Yeah.
You can't be serious in Mr. Gloom.
Well, I feel like, because it's also different, too, because how many serious vet threats to the family have they had? Like Shaw, he was serious and stuff, and like...
And he became part of their family.
Well, besides that, but like...
After
how many serious threats? He's at least a little goofier, or whatever, so it's same thing, but a little different.
Yeah, I mean, I wish they had an original villain in the sense that he's not related to anybody, because Fast 6, kind of original, and Fast 7, he's the brother of the guy. Fast 8 was Cypher.
But Dom was the...
Who's still in these movies. Like, can they just get rid of her? She is so useless.
Yeah.
I forgot to mention, we saw Fast 9, but we never did an episode on that, for whatever reason. That came out like 2 years ago, and I thought it came out last year.
I think that was when we were on our hiatus.
We never did an episode on that?
I think it was after. It was like 2021. Like in the summer.
I don't remember.
Maybe you're right. Maybe we were on the hiatus.
We never did an episode on that, because we did Hobbs and Shaw.
Yeah, that was like one of our first episodes we did was Hobbs and Shaw.
Such a great movie.
Hobbs and Shaw is a masterpiece.
Which, yeah.
But I just wish they would get a more original villain.
Well, again, they're telling the same story over and over again.
Dom ruins family. Guy wants revenge.
Yeah, for a guy that's all about family, he's certainly, with the villains they've had, he's ruined a lot of them.
Yeah, I mean, he's got a point. I mean, he did steal from this guy. I forget what Jason Momoa's character's name was.
Dante.
Dante, yeah, Reyes.
Right.
Not only did they steal a bunch of money from this guy, The Rock double taps his father.
But I feel like that's like, when you're a criminal, it's like someone's gunning for you, and someone's eventually gonna get you. Like, it's not personal. Yeah. And
maybe the double tap was personal, but
but The Rock did that.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying, maybe that was personal, but
and it is canon that The Rock has a daughter in this universe.
Of course he does.
And it's canon that he's also wearing a tight shirt too.
And he brought back the goatee. But
that's the post-credit scene.
But I'm not even too like with Momoa's just performance of him just having the time of his life. Here we go. But he also is a villain. I was like. He was super insane, which made him more enjoyable. Like, where he was having the conversation with 2 people he just murdered.
Yeah, like the eyes almost looked like was a Clockwork Orange. He had like their eyes taped open.
Yeah, he was painting their like toenails, and then or the first kill, like when he first comes in with to Cypher to like. The one guy he kills, he like just licked the blood off the knife and put it away, and then he also just casually has all their families hostage.
See, I feel like they're making him like almost omnipotent. Omnipotent, you know that word is like he's invincible, pretty much.
He knows everything.
He knows everything. He has an endless disposable army.
Yeah.
No matter how many people they slay, there's more of them that comes back.
And more cars.
Then more cars, more helicopters, more explosives. It's just kind of comical in the sense that it's just, when's he going to run out of resources?
Because he literally he'd planned for everything and like super anticipated every move Dom was going to make.
I don't care how thorough your plan is. You're planning for 10 years. That is nonsense. Like, so many things could change on a moment's notice.
Yeah, there's so many variables that could go into it.
What if in Fast 7 Dom died when he drove his car off the roof of a garage and hit a car. Like, what does he do there? He just.
Or what if Shaw killed him when they were fighting each other like their wrenches?
Yeah. What if Dom got killed by that nuke in the 8th one? Like, I don't know. I think it's just ridiculous that the villain can anticipate every move that they have.
Well, especially the ending too, where he knew somehow he was going to save his son, and they get him trapped on that bridge.
Yeah.
It's like
after, but the whole thing was this too.
Well, he knew before you continue. He knew the son would get off of John Cena's car to go in the back and fix the thing. Then he's going to steal the kid back, and then he knew Dom was going to come back and get the kid from him, and then he was going to go to the bridge or the dam. He knew he was. Going to do
the
that.
bridge on the dam, whatever.
Well, I want to talk about that one scene too, where Dom rescues them with flinging the helicopters.
Well, I think we should talk about, before we get into that, let's talk about the never-ending bowling ball scene with the bomb in Rome.
Roma.
That was so much. It was ridiculous.
It's like, I feel like at this point, have it roll uphill. I mean, it won't stop rolling.
I started laughing too when it's rolling, and then it gets to an edge where it's at a tipping point, but then it stops there. I was like, that's not how like physics works. Like, there was nothing to stop it. Why would it just stop?
Well, they threw cars at it.
Yeah, but that thing was going through everything, and then it gets to. But it's not even. It stopped at at a flat, like on a plateau where there's nothing to really push its weight. It got to a point where it was like it rolls over the cars and is on an edge, and then it stops. I go, that's where you're gonna like put physics, bring physics actually into it, like.
Yes.
I like that with the physics. It was on fire for like the entire time. Like, what's burning on it?
I know.
Yeah, it's like, how did that not blow up? And it felt like Civil War a little bit. That bomb isolates everybody. You know, where they had the Accords of Civil War. Yeah. That's what I was like. They were just stealing so much from Marvel, like good Marvel too. You know.
Yeah.
I didn't even think of that.
Jason Momoa was Thanos.
Yeah.
Except Thanos too. Like he anticipated moves, but it was more of like he wasn't basing things on what they were doing. He was just doing his mission and was prepared for whatever they were going to do, but he was on his own thing. Plus, he had essentially the aspects of life in his gauntlet, so that makes sense why he could do.
Well, he had lots of rings on his finger too. Did you see that, Jason Momoa?
Do you have one like in the middle of his hand? Like
I don't know. Maybe he had like a wristwatch that was in his hand. Or something. You know, like that the refs have, like that weird black thing around their hands. Maybe he had that. I think one thing that I wish this movie did was he has all these layers that are like have archival footage always playing. I wish there was a scene where it showed him setting everything up. That would be funny. Like it just smash cut to him setting up the lighting. He's like, oh, that's not quite right. He has to like move the monitor. That would have been funny.
Let me get in the mind of a Dom real quick.
Yeah. Yeah, that would have been funny.
You even see him like dress up as Dom. I need to get inside of him.
Yeah.
Get inside
Puts on like
his
a ball
skin.
cap. He starts like mumbling.
Just drinking a Corona and holding a wrench.
Yeah, that's stuff that they should do. That I feel like that would earn so much more respect from the audience.
No, it'd be like you're like mocking the series more.
Well, yeah, that's how you get the respect.
But also, too, with the tech... Yeah, that'd also be funny, too, because of all the high tech they have, and then you just see him fixing, like, the lighting and, like, everything.
He has to, like, get all this archival footage. He's, like, scrolling through news footage.
Just checking up on Dom's Facebook. Alright, this picture fits.
If only he had the actual, like printed stuff out, because you could show him, like, actually printing, like, going... He doesn't have, like, a printer, so he has to go to, like Staples and print the stuff out.
Or he goes to, like, a public library.
Or he goes to that place where Pete Davidson was, and he just prints out... But
I guess let's talk about the biggest groan of the movie is Tyrese Gibson.
He's the biggest one of every movie.
He gets worse somehow in every movie. He was pretty bad in Fast 9, and it was even kind of funny in Fast 9 where they established that there's like some supernatural force protecting them because he's like, I don't think I can die.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. He got like shot, and all the bullets like missed him.
Yeah, but he just gets worse and worse, and I think we were just talking about this before. I hope that he does, like, I hope it's improv, because I don't know what's more embarrassing, that this is what he can come up with, or this is what professional screenwriters come up with.
It has to be, like, a bit of both. Like, they probably write, like, an outline for the scene, like, he tries to fill it in. It's so bad. He's the worst part of every movie.
I would think the improv comes between him and Ludacris, like when they're bantering. That probably gives more way for improv to let them play off each other. But when it's like all of them, I think those lines have to be scripted.
Everybody in every movie, I just noticed, always looks different. Ludacris got the cornrows now. I mean, Tyrese looks the same because he doesn't have hair.
They just do they just do like a new shining on his head.
Yeah, Michelle Rodriguez, she has different hair. Ramsey has different hair now.
Vin Diesel's the only one that just...
Well, he literally can't. Like, what's he going to change?
No, but he doesn't even change his outfits. He literally... It's always the mechanic shirt or the tank top, the black one or the white one.
With his name on it, Toretto.
I don't think he's a mechanic anymore.
But you remember when I said the one line that really made me cringe was when they were laying out... Tyrese Gibson was talking about his plan and why he should be the leader. He goes, we're going to Rome. Yes. Roman. See? I was like, oh.
Eye roll. Big eye roll. That was pretty bad. That was...
Well, again, every scene he's in is bad. Like, I'm trying to think of a good scene he was in. Like, except maybe when you mentioned he thought he couldn't die.
Yeah.
Because I don't remember that scene, but to be
honest, I wish they would just... I wish he died in this movie instead of John Cena.
Yeah, like, sacrifice him.
He is so bad. I hate him in these movies.
And that's saying a lot because movies are pretty bad.
Speak for yourself.
Yeah, that line of the Roman, that's up there with it was a Fast 7 when they're on the runway, the never-ending runway.
That's Fast 6.
Fast 6. And he goes, that's not a plane, that's a planet. Like, no, that's a military-grade cargo plane, you dumbass. Like,
So, let's talk about how, I guess, the transition from this one to the new one. Because there's characters they got rid of, like Mr. Nobody.
They still keep referencing. Like...
They sidelined Scott Eastwood. Because he was in the beginning, and then they just...
He was another dumb FBI
well, he's
guy.
Like...
Just
no, he was the Paul Walker without him directly being addressed as Paul Walker. Because he was in the 8th one. I think one of my friends is a big Fast and Furious fan. Which is such a shameful thing.
They exist?
Yeah. They somehow exist. He was saying that he was driving cars similar to Paul Walker. I mean, I don't know cars, so I'll take his word for it. I don't know. So he was like the Paul Walker without being Paul Walker.
Also, I mean, they signed them too because then they could bring all these new characters, like now Mr. Nobody's daughter, who no one... Like, why couldn't he could have done that stuff? Like, why'd they introduce another character?
Yeah, seriously, he could have just taken her role as like some high-ranking, especially because he's been in that business for a while.
Yeah, it should have been Scott Eastwood instead of Brie Larson.
Yeah. But there was the agency, which is like, I guess... Wait, that was another scene. Talking about ripping off from Marvel. With the Avengers, when Fury was talking about the High Council.
Yes.
And they have the...
darkened.
Yeah, the figures on the... And they just do like a vote, and I'm like, oh my god.
I was like, I don't understand, like... I just don't get it, like, all the stuff they're doing, like, throwing stuff...
Could you imagine you watch the very first Fast and Furious movie, and you don't watch any of the sequels except this one? You wouldn't know what's happening.
Because even the tech, too. And they brought back those stupid guns from Hobbs and Shaw, the remote-controlled guns. Yeah. Why?
Well, they brought back the God's Eye, and that's like a big problem that they introduced in Furious 7, is that you have this device that is just, like, so ridiculous. Not even ridiculous, but you could do whatever you want with it, too.
Well, the thing, too, it's not even like it's that impressive. It's just the best surveillance tech. Like, because all it does is, like, it tracks your face. Like, oh, we saw you on a camera in some random location. So we know you're there. It's like, well...
Well, it's like that now. It's like a big jump where, no one can hide. We can always get somebody. You know, there's no, I guess you could say, like, tension. Maybe tension in the sense that you can always be found, but I don't know. It's just, like... It feels really lazy. Like, oh, we have the God's Eye now. We can do whatever we want. Even though in Furious 7, it made no sense that he helped Mr. Nobody to get the God's Eye to find Jason Statham, even though he was always finding them. Didn't make any sense.
And also, too, like, Ramsey said the line of, like, I designed this to, like, help people.
It's like, no, you didn't.
How exactly would you have helped people?
I try. You know, these movies go in 1 year out the other, so I don't remember, like, was she even good in the other movies?
They saved her in Furious 7.
Yeah, she was never bad.
They were trying to use the God's Eye.
Yeah,
the bad guy. Not Jason Statham, because there's two villains in Furious 7.
It was him and Cypher?
No, it was him and... he was, I think, Korath in Guardians of the Galaxy, that guy. In the first one?
What? Oh, I know who you're talking about.
He's like, who? The Star-Lord? Yeah, he's that guy.
Yeah.
Digimundo Hinsu. I probably butchered the name, but
I wasn't going to attempt to say it.
But she's like, I designed this to help people. It's like, you designed this for governments. What did you think they were going to do with it? Locate, like, countries to, like, bring food to? Like,
try to find, like, endangered species? Like...
A new habitat for, like, the dying polar bears or whatever.
Yeah.
So, let's talk about, I guess... let's just talk about the whole movie. Let's maybe do, like, a beat by beat, maybe. Because we already talked about the beginning heist, where it recapped Fast Five, and then it establishes that Jason Momoa's character, and it had that very cheesy Jason lives ending, his eyes open up.
Yeah.
And then, okay, before I could do that, I guess let's talk about editing. Editing was so bad in this movie. It was so choppy. Anything with cars, especially in the beginning too, it was like cut after cut after cut after cut. It's nauseating having constant cuts. We were talking about the Brazil scene when they first go to Rio de Janeiro.
Like, I thought it was gonna like glitch out, man. Like, because they like it was, and it was also high color, and then that music too. That's another thing with these movies. The soundtrack is, but they're cutting, and then like it was that weird, like it would zoom in really fast, stop, cut out, zoom back in, and then it goes to all the like the fireworks, and then it keeps cutting to like different asses, and then it goes to the cars, which does that like weird panoramic thing, and then it would zoom out. And I'm like, dude, what is happening? Like,
it's too much.
It's too experimental for me.
So then, after the recap of Fast Five, we were introduced to Dom and his son, who looks nothing like him.
No, he looks nothing like him.
Looks nothing like the mother, too.
No, like he needs a paternity test. But it looks nothing like the previous movies, too. Like, I remember when he was kept as a baby, like, then it doesn't look like the way he does look now. Let's just say that. I think
they need
maybe
Maury.
swapped out.
Yeah, they need Maury.
You are not the father.
I'm trying to think of, I'm trying to think of the beginning, because it's a very long movie. It's
so
140 minutes.
It goes from the heist.
Right.
Then it goes to the bar. It goes to them doing donuts in a parking lot, which your son's like 12. Why are you teaching
I don't even think he's 12.
It's like 6, maybe?
Yeah.
Very irresponsible.
Yeah. But then it goes to them, then they have to race back to their barbecue.
Oh, yes.
And Dom's mother's there. And then while she's there, that's when we get the information that Tyrese Gibson found this heist, or something with Rome. They got to go to steal this tech that they think they got from Scott Eastwood.
Yes.
So Dom and them were originally going to stay back, and he was letting Tyrese Gibson lead the heist, so he was going to stay back.
That's right.
And then they go, and then Cypher, she shows up that night.
Oh, yes, that's right. She shows up stabbed.
Yeah, she kicks the whole thing going.
And then, she then tells Dom that this guy just showed up, this hippie-looking guy just shows up.
Yeah, you get introduced to Jason Momoa, where he kills the one guy in her crew that doesn't... the scene, he walks in just carrying 2 dead guys and just drops them. And then he kills the one guy that has nothing, like no family or anything.
He's like, no cat.
And then he steals her tech from her.
Yes.
And her, like, I guess her entire, all her resources.
And her crew.
Yeah.
He betrays her. Oh, no, her people betray her, and then she escapes.
Yeah, because Jason Momoa had them, like, you just see all their families, like, being held hostage.
Out of all that carnage, because it was an action set piece, all the carnage, people shooting at her, she jumps into an elevator with one person, and it crashes. And, like, the steel beams underneath the elevator stab that one guy. All she runs away with that is just a knife wound.
Yeah.
Even though in these movies a knife wound is like a paper cut to them. Like, I don't know why she was like dying.
Yeah, I thought you would have thought she got shot like 3 times.
Yeah, I thought she was being in bad shape, but she just got stabbed. And...
Yeah, I thought she was shot too, because like usually again these movies like you said, like a stab is a paper cut. So I didn't think not that it matters, but
yeah.
These people are beating up people they shouldn't be able to beat up.
So then Scott Eastwood shows up, and then they take Cypher to their black site, which is in Antarctica. We find out later. And then he finds out that he didn't run any mission.
Yeah.
It's a trap. And then they have to go to Rome. And that's when they take over that one car, and it turns out Jason Momoa is controlling the car that
Yeah, he's
Ludacris
controlling
and
everything,
Ramsey are
yeah.
in.
Which has a bomb in it.
Yeah, which has like I guess a low grade nuke kind of. I mean, it's not a nuke, but
They said it was like a neutron bomb or something like that.
I mean, I think the yield would be bigger. I mean, because I know it looks like the bomb from
their
The Dark
excuse
Knight
was it went
Rises.
in the water, which neutralized some of the blast.
Yeah,
No shot.
Yeah, she said it would like I think take off like it would be 10 times less powerful in the water, even though the water was only like 60 feet deep. But regardless, it didn't even.
They could be worse in the water, to be honest. It caused more damage in the sense that maybe, I don't know, I don't know. It just feels like it'd be worse.
Also, it'd be more damage to like infrastructure, stuff like underground. Like I think that would be worse for the
It's a
city.
very old city.
That'd be worse for the city. Things would start caving in.
Yeah.
But also too, but the thing is if it's one thing if it touched the bottom, you can argue 60 feet, whatever. But the thing is, it went off as soon as it hits the water. So like there wouldn't have been anything to like really slow the explosion.
Well, we need to take a step back. How he got it into the water?
No, yeah.
Yeah, it was going straight towards, I guess, the Vatican.
I hope
he hit some crane to like basically like ping pong it into the water.
Yeah, even though he could have just taken his car and redirected it into the water.
I hope that somebody finds out where the truck started and they map out how far this thing traveled. I hope somebody does that, because I know people did that for Fast 6 with the airplane and how long that runway would be for how long it was traveling.
I was like, how many miles was it?
Yeah. They like span across a couple countries, I think.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, because then there was also the motorcycle chase with him and Letty,
Yes.
where she
has to be close so she can jam his detonator for the
Yeah.
bomb.
and then
I mean, why didn't he just blow it up when everyone was next to it? He could have killed, like... It wouldn't blow up the Vatican, but he would have killed, like, all the heroes except
he
Letty.
wanted to blow up the Vatican. They wanted to, I guess to follow up with the line of what Cypher said when she was bleeding out on his couch, was like, I met the devil last night, and she's like, I thought it was me. I'm like, what?
You thought you were the devil? Why do you say that as a good thing?
But yeah, so then the bomb, so the car gets flipped because they shoot out like a wire to flip the truck.
Yeah.
Jason Momoa has a button. He opens it from the back, so it just starts rolling and rolling.
And rolling.
Rolling.
Yeah. And the amount of people like Dom and them probably killed in that car chase too, like where Dom's like trying to like get by the cops and he's like flipping their car, blowing up and stuff, and
He has very
But he
little
didn't need to
regard.
save like the grandmother, right? Because he like, I think when some explosion went off, not the bomb, but like something went off and like he took down the canopy to save like people.
Oh yeah,
in a
it's those
restaurant.
people at like the cafe. He hit the canopy to like. I'm like, do you realize the thing would burn up? Like, do you not know what
It
a
would
canopy's
incinerate
made
those
out of?
people.
Yeah, like.
I think what was so funny is that this movie's so on the nose with, like the Jason Momoa with the devil and whatnot. The Rome Has Fallen sequence where Vin Diesel's slowly walking up and he just sees like Rome in ashes. That was so funny to me. That's just like, that's like film school, college directing. It felt like it was just so embarrassing.
And then there's the one sequence, and Jason Momoa was like counting down, and he does like the thing where he stands there,
Yeah.
like he's at like an opera.
He reminded me of, you ever seen the movie called The Professional? It's with
No.
Jean Reno and young Natalie Portman.
No,
I don't want to see that.
I think I've heard of it.
You don't want to see it?
No.
Yeah, it's very weird in some parts with the child. Very cringy. But the main villain is played by Gary Oldman, and he's very like... He
They're
makes
like
comparisons to Beethoven. He's like
They're
talking about like...
yeah.
It felt like they ripped off that movie. But
That
this-
and like
Wasn't the director? He's French, so.
Oh yeah, I mean,
and
this
also-
guy's French too.
Craig, you had said like it's almost like the Joker, like they're. But the
Well,
thing is like
Also, no, I didn't say that. I saw people online saying
oh
that.
jeez.
Yeah, he's nothing like the Joker though.
I guess because he said
I
the line
feel
of like
people were going to say that.
I like someone I don't want to I want to punish the world. I guess like the Joker's like
Make
with
the world burn.
some guys just want to watch the world burn. But the thing is like the Joker was just causing chaos to just upset society. Where this guy is just a
Yeah,
personal vendetta.
Yeah, he has a clear mission that he's
Yeah.
trying to accomplish.
Like he just wanted Dom to suffer.
Yeah.
Because then I knew film critics would say that because people don't read or watch anything besides other big franchise movies. So of course they make that comparison. They don't watch anything else. They
But
don't know anything else.
he seemed more along the lines of the Riddler, like very eccentric and like
No.
no.
Yeah, I don't know. Those comparisons are pretty bad. I mean, it's the same thing as, remember when our friend Colin Trevorrow compared that dinosaur Giga to the Joker?
Like, can we please read other stuff? Like, I'm so sick of having people compare things to the Joker or Thanos or Voldemort.
I think that's not the problem. It's their comparisons are just flat out wrong.
Yeah.
And it just hold no truth.
But they're wrong because they don't watch anything else. That's all they can compare
Well, not
it
even
to.
that too. If like you're gonna have this dinosaur that you say is like the Joker, all right, that's dumb. Make it try to do something like that.
It's not just a dinosaur. It's
Don't just have a dinosaur that shows up and gets killed by another blind dinosaur. Like, don't do that.
I think that people should read more books and stop watching Star Wars.
Yeah. So after that, our heroes are listed as like global terrorists for blowing up Rome.
But that's the thing too. Like, I know they didn't do the mission for the agency, but still, you think they would have some like white. Where'd Scott Eastwood go?
Yeah.
Like,
Well, they said they made a line like he was recovering, so that's why that huge guy, whatever his name was, he took over.
was he even given a name?
He
Ames,
probably was.
Ames.
Oh,
Ames.
Ames.
It's fitting.
Amy.
He was great though, but
That guy's a mountain.
yeah, well yeah. So then we go from that to then we're introduced to the agency, and Nobody's daughter, who is trying to plead the case that Dom and them didn't do this, that their track record, all this stuff. And he's the new guy, like he's the new head, and he has no connection to them. So
Mr. Nobody's gone.
Yeah, so he doesn't get
Little Nobody's
He doesn't
gone.
care, and he said maybe the best line in the entire
Oh
franchise.
yes.
Because she's like, oh, they're about family and all stuff, and he goes, but essentially saying like, I don't care at all. Like he goes, they call them a cult with cars.
Craig was in tears.
that broke Craig. Because that was like the perfect description, like
They're a cult with cars.
And then he also said the line of like she like some like talking about their family. He also says like, yeah, I don't like barbecues. He really did not like them. Like, I just don't care. And then they have the high council meeting.
Yes.
And then they vote. Well, he poses the question to either kill him or help them, and it passed to go kill him. And then so Brie Larson, she has to then go warn Dom because like they can't talk at all, like through any means of communication, will be hunted down.
But they still do. But they're like a rendezvous point and whatever.
Yeah. So Dom goes to Brazil.
Mm-hmm. That's where you have the epileptic transitions.
No. She meets him in the bar first.
Oh yes, then we go to Rio.
There's Naples.
Yeah.
Still in Italy.
And then Letty got taken to like essentially, what was it from Civil War?
It was like the black.
The Vault.
Gate?
Wasn't that the Vault? The movie's version of the Vault.
Yeah, right. Because they had remember in Civil War they had the super prison that was in the water and it was holding all the high powered, which essentially was that.
Yeah.
So she gets there. So she gets put there. So Brie Larson tells Dom like Dom gets her to help her. But somehow it's in Antarctica. Like,
What's comical is that their prison looks like something you'd hold superheroes, not just average people.
Is it? I mean, they basically are superheroes.
Oh yeah, I mean that's true, but
yeah. Well, no, that was another thing that Ames also said too, which was another great line. He goes, "If it defies the laws of gravity,
yes.
they've done it once. If it defies the laws of nature and God, they've done it twice." So then Dom goes. So he goes to Rio. Letty is being locked up, but Brie Larson goes to help her.
And meanwhile, not to interrupt you, John Cena's looking after Dom's kid.
Yes. Oh yeah, because that was another thing. When they sent the agency.
Yeah, they ambushed Dom's house
with what was
Mia.
This? Mia. She was watching Little B. And Jacob just shows up.
See, when they first showed up, I thought that was going to be Paul Walker. I was like, oh man, is he going to actually save the day?
No, see, when that guy got tossed, I
thought the kid did that for a second. I was like, what?
Yeah, because the guy looks and you see him get tossed, and then I was like, wait, there's no way Dom is here right now. Like,
that's what I thought was Paul Walker. Like, I thought, his wife was like playing games with his nephew, and then he's like, oh, I'm in the other room, and he shows up.
Hit him with Ghost Force, but
Jeez.
It's almost been 10 years. We're approaching the...
Yeah,
10-year anniversary.
10-year milestone.
I'm milking the franchise without him.
Yeah, so then Jacob takes the son to...
They're going to go to the rendezvous point, but they have like a little road trip moment.
Yeah.
A little bizarre.
Yeah.
But John Cena is as charismatic as ever.
Yeah.
In the movies we talked about with him, he's always great, and then he has great range, great comedic timing.
He also doesn't take himself too serious as a character.
That's why
because they make the joke where he takes the son initially and is like, and the kid's like, oh, he like sees this big jacked up truck.
Like a
he's
military
like, oh, and he's like, whoa, not that one. It's like this little like 2-door car with a canoe on it.
But if it was The Rock, he would have had like a big rigged truck.
He would have had a tank. And the kid would have went to the truck, be like, oh, he goes, not that one, son, and it's just like a tank. So we're taking this one. Yeah. But yeah, so they go on the road trip, which was probably one of the actual better parts of the movie, like in terms of seriousness. Like there's actually, they felt like characters.
Yeah, it helps when you have a guy who can actually act. Yeah, in your movie.
Yeah. So they go to the airport because like they do a road trip, and John Cena also has to like give them fake names and everything. And then
they escape through the plane pretty much. So that thing that was on top of John Cena's car turns out to be some flying jet thing. You think it's like a kayak. Turns out it could be a jet. Yeah. He brings that to the airport. I don't even know how that gets checked in.
Yeah, seriously.
But they escape through like
securely secured.
Yeah, they escape through a secret hatch on the bottom of an airplane. Yeah. And they escape and they go to...
Yeah, they fly that.
Portugal.
Yeah, they go to Portugal.
Which, that made me laugh because your reaction to it, because like... They fly out. It felt like a James Bond thing.
Yeah, it's like that thing in No Time to Die.
Yeah, and you literally go, what? Also, too, with John Cena, like, another thing about him, too, like, his character, like, their disguise is, like, the kid dresses normally, and then he has this shirt that says, I have gas, and he has, like, these, like, short shorts, and, like...
Yeah, he has a bathing suit on.
Yeah, like...
God bless that man.
Yeah, he just pokes fun at himself.
But poke fun at himself. Like, he's okay to not be, like, Mr. Serious action hero, going to take 2 hits to the face. Like,
yeah. Or no, but that fight scene, too, like, in the house, when he picked that guy up and threw him through the floor.
I just... do you remember from Fast 9 when they're chasing John Cena in London? There's this one scene where he's, like, on a zip line, and you were dying of laughter. I'm just thinking about that.
Yeah, because he was on... Just an endless zip line through London, and then Vin Diesel tackles him.
Was it London or was it Edinburgh?
I think it was Edinburgh.
I don't remember.
But again, he keeps shooting all these zip lines. He's zip lining down just this huge jacked up guy going through the roof. And then Vin Diesel's running on the roof with a long white shirt, jeans, and Tim's, and tackles him through the roof. Wait, that was another thing too. When him and Letty, like I was laughing. I turned to you because you said, I said, when him and Letty were, like, having their, talk at night and they're, like, in bed and she's clearly in, like, night clothes, right? Yeah. Like, a t-shirt, shorts. This man has a tank top, jeans, and boots in bed.
So does Tim's on while he's in bed?
It's still funny that they have their wedding photo and he's just in a tank top at the wedding. So then I think the movie cuts to Rio, and that's when Vin Diesel shows up.
Well, the other crew, Tyrese, the funny crew, Tyrese Gibson, and they went to...
They meet Pete Davidson.
Oh yes, they go to London to meet Pete Davidson.
Well, they got there through the the crates?
Yeah, like a cargo container
with the cologne. More great lines.
I saved you. Yeah. For some reason, he has, like, part of the plot points, their money's taken from them. And for some reason, he's, like, literally lined himself with, like, dollar bills.
That made no sense. What?
Well, they have to give his character some actual value in the movie. Because if not, he's the...
You know, I was just thinking about it. Do they really buy anything with money?
Maybe they gave it to Racing Statham, but...
They didn't use the money at all, really. They tried to.
Yeah, because then the black market guy, Pete Davidson, sold them out.
Yeah.
So they had to bail.
Yeah, they didn't. I don't think they used the money. It was a big setup for no payoff.
Unless they gave it to Racing Statham.
Also,
but then he leaves.
Yeah. Well, I just don't get why he has, like literally, he's like It's like smuggling money. Like,
well, Craig, the plot demanded it. That's why.
Well, I'm trying to think.
But actually, it didn't demand it.
Well, not even. Well, not too. Like, I'm trying to think. So this was. He's had his mission in Rome. Assuming everything goes well, why would you have that money on you?
And then he's also asking them for receipts with cash.
Yeah, that was just such a dumb
Even
joke.
though it's like, dude, you guys are trying to, like, you know...
You're a family, right? Can't you loan your family $5?
Yeah. Also, they got hacked.
It wasn't funny. Like, I know that's what they were going for, to, like, be funny. Like, it was just so painfully unfunny.
Yeah, and then him and Ludacris start fighting in the middle of that store.
Internet cafe.
Yeah. And another thing that they just dropped was Han with the, like, psychedelic muffin.
Out on the muffin.
Like,
and I think he kept eating it, right?
yeah, he ate like half of it, and it's just like, oh, you see his like vision go, and it's like they don't touch on it again. Like, dude, they not know how psychedelic drugs work?
I thought it was gonna be something like
a coherent plot work.
Like
I thought he was gonna see somebody and he was gonna be tripping out when they go to that door, but he was fine by the time they got to Statham. I thought it was gonna be something like that. And he'd go to Giselle. I thought because I did see a leak that said Giselle was gonna be in the movie, so I knew that.
I didn't know that.
I didn't see the leak, but I had a feeling, especially at the beginning, where
if they're bringing this
he was on Tinder,
they're setting up for Endgame.
He was on Tinder trying to look for a new girlfriend. I was like, okay, she's definitely coming back. No way they gave him a new love interest. No way, no shot. I thought she'd be the end credits scene, but
yeah, I knew she was gonna be in it, so I thought she was gonna be in London.
No one's ever really.
Yeah, really.
Well, she's just in the Arctic in a submarine.
Yeah, she's somehow in a submarine. What?
Wasn't the submarine they stole, or?
I thought they blew that up.
I forget these. It's 1 year, one year out the other. Like I watch these. I try to retain as little as possible.
That's besides the point.
Yeah. So they're in London. Why are they in London again?
Well, they had to get
they had
computers to be able to hack, or like reverse hack.
Really, just they have to type fast.
Yeah.
Well, even Han made that joke too. Like, you're typing really fast on that keyboard.
Like,
it's a lot of clicking and hacking.
Yeah.
Well, hacky. It's a lot of social engineering. Like, you're not gonna like literally type away at a computer.
Yeah, and then
Well, you never hacked, Craig. What do you know?
I know a lot.
Yeah, and then so they're trying to get back. They were on. I'll say this: they were easily the worst part of the movie.
Yeah, there's
when they broke off with different like groups, like they were
crews.
They were the worst.
They were like the Team Godzilla in Godzilla vs. Kong.
Yeah,
they were just so bad.
Yeah.
Well, again, part of the reason why they're so bad is because you have Roman, or whoever his name is, being the worst character in the franchise by far. Like, he's like every time he's on screen, like it's the worst thing you could possibly put and be passable.
And they don't.
Bless you.
But,
no.
But they didn't do anything.
I mean, they showed up.
Their whole purpose, their whole purpose was just to get back to Dom, and they failed.
I mean, they got him, and they got shot down.
Which we'll get to. We'll get to.
By, was it Thad? You said his name was.
Well, I think in real life it's Alan.
No, it's Thad. He's a Thad.
Yeah, it's Thad Castle. Yeah.
I think that fits him.
Yeah. Yeah, he looks like a Thad, an absolute Chad.
He's just a mountain of a man. That guy was huge.
But I'm sure him and The Rock will fight.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, The Rock will like beat him, even though The
Rock will
Rock
probably rip out a spinal cord.
Yeah. Beat him with.
He'll fillet him.
He'll fight him when Hobbs and Joey came on that towel, the like club. But yeah, because then we go to Brazil with the
God, I hate The Rock.
The epileptic footage, and the
Jason
Momoa shows up because Vin Diesel was waiting for him to show up.
Somehow.
Apparently, he was the boss there.
The Hefe?
Well, so because him, the one guy from Fast Five, I knew that guy,
his buddy,
that rat-looking guy,
and then the girl.
Oh, he actually was from the movie.
He was from Fast Five. Yeah.
She
Ratcatcher too.
Yeah,
she was in the Suicide Squad.
Yeah, she shows up to just race Dom, and then Jason Momoa shows up, which to race Dom. He just brings $1 million, just cash, just drops it,
and he secretly put bombs underneath Ratcatcher. Or we should just... I don't know her name.
Just call her Ratcatcher. Yeah.
Put a Ratcatcher...
Yeah, what was her name in the movie? Did they even say it?
They probably said it.
It was Elena's sister.
They put it under the rat-looking guy.
Elena.
The tatted-up rat. Let's call him that.
Tatted-up rat and Ratcatcher.
So Tatted Up Rat thinks he's winning the race, and Jason Momoa blows him up. He's pretty much saying to Dom, you gotta choose.
Yeah, who you're gonna see.
But he's gonna kill both, because he's crazy.
And he was gonna kill both, but Dom, he lets Tatted Up Rat die. I don't know what's happening to my voice. And then he pretty much sideswipes Ratcatcher's car. She hits another car, and the bomb falls off, blows up, doesn't set the car on fire somehow. And then Jason Momoa wins. And obviously, as you find out later, she is the sister to Elena, who was capped off in Fast 8. So he gets information from her because she's like, "Oh, my sister kept these old files on this guy." Yeah. Because I don't remember this in Fast 5.
Even though the police would have came.
Elena wanted revenge on Reyes because Reyes killed her husband in Fast 5. Or
no,
prior
I get that,
to
but if she died, the police would have came and taken all of her. They would have taken the files.
This is the police in Brazil. What do you know? So he finds out what his base of operations is because his name is on the lease.
Yeah, he never took his name off the deed.
Yeah. So Dom goes there.
But that was he for 10 years he kept his name because he knew Dom was going to come that day.
Yeah.
And his vision board ready.
But also too, before that, when they were racing, they're all in the cars and talking, and Jason Momoa was taunting them. And he comes in that like purple car, and he has like the shirt that matches the like color of the car.
Oh yeah.
And he just goes, to answer your question, yes, the carpet does match the drapes.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
That was another good line. Saved it from the awful movie.
So then he goes to that building. That's what we're talking about, where he has archival footage playing of like Dom and his crew.
It was the rundown. It's important. It was the old police station.
Yeah. And then it was a trap, obviously. Anyone with a brain would know it was a trap.
It's all this archival footage, and there's just a single, like, telephone.
Yeah, there's like a dial-up phone there.
Instead of a landline somehow.
So then Dom gets arrested, and then... See, this is when it makes no sense when you find out that the large mountain man was working with Momoa.
Yeah.
Because he pretty much... He puts himself in danger, because he knew someone was going to launch a missile at his SWAT truck. That's how Dom escapes. And there's this huge action sequence on the same bridge where Reyes was capped.
But the funny thing, too, is Dom somehow knew he was going to get a rocket shot at him, and he didn't. And he worked for...
Yeah, I thought they were going to save Dom, because he's like, I would put my seatbelts on if I were you. I was like, oh, okay. B team with Ludacris and whatever are going to show up and save them. But no, it's like friendly fire.
Yeah, and he got shot too worse. I think he got shot like in the stomach or something.
No, he had a vest.
They had the sniper.
That's a sniper rifle.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah, sniper
and Brie
rifle.
Larson got like grazed in the top of her shoulder. Like, oh my god, take her to the
That honestly
hospital.
probably could have taken, like, just guessing on like the caliber, probably would have taken her shoulder clean off.
But I love how it looks like she had like almost like a paper cut.
Yeah.
On her shoulder, and then this guy gets shot in the chest. And he's like,
well, so Reyes men are shooting everyone at the bridge, and then Mountain Man helps kill the people with Dom.
Yeah.
And then Brie Larson shows up at the bridge, and they have him surrounded. They could have easily killed him right there.
Yeah. Well, he wants him to suffer.
Well, no.
Well, he wants
They could have killed Momoa.
Yeah.
Brie Larson's right behind him. She could have just shot him in the back of the head. Because then Dom like throws him up against the car. He's just beating him up.
Yeah. And Momoa's laughing at him as he's beating him up. Like
the Joker. Oh my god.
And then that's when it turns out that Mountain Man... Mountain Man was not revealed. It was not revealed.
That's revealed at the very end.
Yeah.
No, because then...
That's when the sniper picks them off, and then Dom has to save Ratcatcher. Because she's about to get shot with the sniper.
And then Momoa gets God's Eye from...
Brie Larson.
That's right. That was a little savage, too, because when he's like, where is it? And she's like, I'm not telling you. And he takes his thumb and digs it into her wound.
Her very small wound.
Yeah. And then Ratcatcher takes Brie Larson to go to the hospital, so they're done for the movie. And then Thad and Dom, they go together to track down...
to intercept... Well, they want to find Dom's son, I think.
Yeah.
Because then that's when the base where John Cena's at gets infiltrated, so they have this ridiculous car, which we thought was going to fly.
I was hoping it was going to fly.
It looked like it had engines on. I was like, no way. But it shoots out missiles. Long story short,
we're also talking about the ridiculous amount of resources. How many cars did they send at him when they break out? And they you see like 50 cars just coming straight at him.
So then it shoots cannonballs. John
Not
Cena's
cannonballs, like artillery shells.
Whatever. It shoots something at him, but then it gets jammed, because of course. So then Dom's kid comes out of the car and tries to fix it. He does, and then Momoa shows up and like kidnaps him.
Just grabbed him.
See the candy in my car.
And then that's when Dom shows up. They have that big, ridiculous airplane. They open up the hatch in the back, and then Dom backs out the car and lands on two cars, perfectly not damaging his.
Yeah, what's this car made out of?
Made out of, like, diamonds or something.
I mean, I was going to say vibranium. I mean, they're ripping off Marvel. Might as well.
Oh, we forgot the best part at the bridge sequence where he gets a car door and they're shooting at him, and he uses the car door as a shield.
With like sniper rifle.
Yeah, that was amazing.
Yeah. And then, also too, before that chase scene, Statham.
Nah, he's not in the movie that much.
No, but Han and them, they go there to Statham.
Yeah.
Wait, so why was Jason Statham mad at Han? Because I know he tried to kill Han.
Yeah, there was actually no reason for Statham. No, I guess he was mad because he probably thought Han was there to kill him after his attempt on his life in Tokyo Drift.
That probably makes sense.
Yeah, but then he...
Because he says the lines, the only reason a dead man shows up at my door is to, like, kill me. So then he immediately goes defensive and just starts fighting Han, and then the agency shows up, and then they work together. And...
Oh, you missed the part why Jason Statham leaves, but something with his mom?
Yeah,
Mom sold him out?
No. They said anybody who ever helped Dom any point over the years is in danger. That included his mom.
Yes, because she helped him out early in the movie,
so they bail. But...
So where's Paul Walker? When is he going to show up?
But... The part that we all were like, what the... was... They fight the agents, they kill them all, and then this guy just gets out of a bag.
Oh, yes.
That was in like the... Yeah.
What was... So...
He's in his underwear.
So I asked, I was like, because when they first show Statham there, he's hooded up, and he's just beating up this bag. Was that where the guy was?
I'm assuming.
I think so, yeah.
Because I that didn't register in my mind, and then this guy at the end of the fight just gets out of a body bag in his underwear, just beating up and just starts screaming and runs. And I was like, where did he come from?
That's what I'm assuming. I mean, if it's not that, then I'm really lost.
Yeah.
And the guy got hit by a car, too. The car broke in and hit the bag.
Yeah.
I don't know how he didn't die. That's not important. Jason Statham.
I'm sure he'll come back in the 12th one.
Yeah.
Him and Hobbs going to reunite.
No, he'll be the villain. He's going to be the new villain. He wants revenge on Dom for Shaw and Han.
So then we have the worst part of the movie, and that's when John Cena has to sacrifice himself because he sees a bunch of cars coming Dom's way.
For no reason. When he could have turned his car and aimed his cannons at...
I thought that's what he was going to do, but, you know...
He flipped them and...
Yeah, he aimed the cannons at the floor, at the street, and he launches himself up in the air, and then he hits all the cars and blows up and perfectly leaves a path for Dom.
Yeah. And like that's why like with that I was like, why did they kill him of all characters? Because him and the kid actually were.
Well, is he actually dead? That's the real thing.
I mean,
is he actually?
I think he's probably dead.
I think this being their Infinity War and Endgame, they're killing people off permanently.
I'm not gonna say for sure he's dead.
Because who else?
I think it's because we were talking about this. Because yes, The Rock is in the movie at the end. He's in a post-credit scene.
It's too much testosterone.
I think.
No, it's not enough. Yes.
I think The Rock said, "I'll come back if he doesn't come back." I think his ego can't handle two WWE guys. I really think that.
Well, because and the thing too is like, in the movie, Jacob actually like again him and the nephew actually felt like characters, and they actually, you know, like in their road trip, you get a little insight on John Cena, and like also the moments of like when the kid was like scared of flying, and he's I've been afraid, like, you know, so he has these bonding moments with the kid where it was like, oh, they feel like actual characters, and like there's, you know, they're giving them a bit of his backstory and stuff. It was like actual writing.
Yeah.
And then they just kill him off. And then that leads into another great line where Jason Momoa is driving with the nephew, and he goes, "Oh, looks like Uncle Muscles when we come to the next barbecue." And then he looks at him and goes, "Oh, sorry, that was a little dark."
So then there's
I'm just gonna say it. I don't think he's dead.
Okay, that's fair. Well, we'll know in 2 years.
No one's died.
We'll know. Yeah, that's a good point. We'll know in 2 years, but so there's a stupid callback from the beginning of the movie with Dom and his son saying like, you have to feel the car, and he said something.
It really makes no sense. Besides, I guess it's the callback. Really has no relation to
it's totally different situations. But then they do that stupid callback. Dom's son gets out of the car and into Dom's car, and then he's gonna rendezvous at the runway with what's his name, Mountain Man.
Just call him
with
Thad Castle.
Yeah, with Thad, and then this is when things get crazy because they're on. Is that the Hoover Dam they're at? There's no way.
No.
Just some dam.
They're still in Portugal.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, they're just at some dam.
It looked like the Hoover Dam.
It did. That sounds like that wouldn't make any sense.
I mean, with the amount of locations they've gone to in short time in this movie.
So while they're at that dam, they see one truck coming their one way, and then they look behind, and other big like oil tankers coming behind them, and that's when Jason Momoa has like his final moment where he's like, "Oh well, what are you gonna do now?"
Yeah, every move you've done, I've
anticipated this. I knew you're gonna be here.
You've done everything that I wanted you to.
And then Roman and his crew are showing up.
Wait, no.
Uh-oh.
We have to backtrack on the car chase. The helicopters.
Oh my god.
We have to talk about the helicopters because at one point, Jason Momoa, after his 50 guys get killed, he has more resources where he calls in 2 helicopters, and they shoot like they shoot like ropes, and it gets stuck on both sides of his car. So they're trying to lift his car out, which again his car.
Just shoot the car.
Well, that too, yeah, but. There's no way that car outmuscles them when they're just going up. It has nothing to keep them from like, especially if only half of his car is on the ground. He's just that good of a
driver, Daniel.
I mean, I don't know if they ever say this, but it's almost like car kung fu. Like when he was swinging the debris of the helicopter around, it's like this is just getting ridiculous.
Yeah, because then he goes. Then he says the line, "My turn." He hits the turbo or nitro, like
whatever it was.
Yeah, and
NOS.
Yeah, he
like gaseous adamantium or something. Because at this point, it's magic.
Yeah. And then he goes down, and he hits the turbo, and he goes down, and he like pulls the helicopters down, and not only that does he pull them down, onto other goons, so it kills them.
Yes.
And then you have these 2 flaming helicopters.
I don't know how those weren't slowing his car down. Even when they blew up, like those things are heavy.
Like. But the thing is, like, when he drove off the bridge, like, I was really expecting the helicopters to pull up and, like, because, like, at least he's on the ground, you could say, I'm pulling them, but, like, once he jumped off the bridge, it's like, well, alright, we're not just pull you up.
Yeah.
Rip your doors off, maybe.
they just shift over the water and just drop them. But,
no!
Yeah, and then so he's dragging the 2 helicopters, he swings the one into other goons, and then he has one more, and then he swings it. Father of the Year moment right here, because your son is in that car, right? You want to keep your son safe. Let me fling a flaming helicopter at it. But he perfectly nicks the back of the car to...
he could have killed his son right
there.
Easily,
that thing, if that got released, that honestly would have just taken the car out and killed him. I was like...
he definitely practices this in his free time.
Yeah, he knew that Dom was also going to destroy his helicopters and then... hit his car so he could take his son back. Like,
I'm saying Dom practices all this in his free time, like having helicopters, take his car.
Does he work anymore? Like, what is his job?
He's a mechanic.
But yeah, and then they end up at the dam with the two Optimus Primes.
Yeah, and that's when you think Roman and his crew, who have been useless like the entire movie pretty much, show up, and then Thad shoots them with the Stinger. It hits the airplane's engine, and it blows up off screen. So obviously they're not dead. I'll be very surprised.
There was
no shot they're dead.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying.
There was like 1 or 2 cars in the cargo. They dropped out.
No, I know that. I know that. I'm just saying, I would be really, really, really surprised.
Yeah.
I mean, I would
if they killed off those 4.
No, but
also
there's no
too,
shot
when they were,
I know that.
When they were coming in with the plane, where were they going to land it?
I think they wanted Dom to drive off, and they would have caught him.
But like, I don't know how.
But the plane was coming at them straight on. There's no way you could have turned the cargo plane.
Well, he's coming from behind them because he.
No.
Was it coming towards them?
So like, say you can't show a visual. But like, this is the dam right here.
Yeah.
They drove down. The plane was coming this way.
Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah, the plane was coming head on, and I was like,
I could have sworn it was coming away from them.
I mean, I know they talked about some airfield, but I was like, where's the airfield? Because this dam is kind of closed off in between mountains.
I guess it was down the road. Or...
Yeah.
I don't know.
But
So
they were
that's when
coming.
we find out, Thad betrayed them.
Yeah,
Even though he was barely on their side.
Yeah. Even though he made it very clear that he hated them.
yeah.
The cult with cars.
And then so then they blow up, and then it's not done there because then Momo's had enough of his suffering, so he goes, "Time for you to die." So he has the trucks just going at him like they're gonna sandwich him.
And Dom drives off head first.
Keep in mind, he also. Why would you have the trucks go at him head on when you
Really
had
slowly.
rigged the dam to blow?
Yeah, remote controlled trucks.
But he also had rigged the dam to blow too. Why don't you just blow the dam?
Because he
up?
wants Dom to suffer. He knew Dom was going to survive this.
So Dom then reverses and goes off with his son down, and they ride down the dam.
Yes.
With the dam blowing up too, so there's flames. And not only that,
Well, the dam didn't blow up yet. It was the trucks, and the fiery explosion was following them down the dam.
no. Jason Momoa rigged it.
Like, they blew up, and then the dam didn't blow up because they saw explosives afterwards.
But he armed it though. Oh yeah, because they blow it up at the end. That's
Yeah.
the ending.
Yeah.
So you have the fire, like this wall of fire chasing, and it actually is like the tail end of the car is engulfed.
Gets inside the car.
It breaks through the glass and everything, and that's when Vin Diesel hits the NOS again, which that car would have blown up immediately.
Well, Daniel, we have to talk about the shot where it's all CG, obviously. The camera goes down Vin Diesel's veiny arm inside the car, and it shows the NOS getting ignited, and then it propels him forward. It's like a jet engine. It looked like
that would have blown up immediately.
Yeah, they would have been toast, literally.
Like there was already flame surrounding their car. That's flammable. They would have just blown up.
And then once that happened, they went inside the dam with the car.
Yeah.
They survived the explosion somehow. And that's when they get out. Vin Diesel looks up, and then Jason Momoa reveals that he has bombs all around the dam. Or, like, inside, whatever. You know what I mean? It's, like, in the dam, too.
Yeah.
And then he detonates it, and then it cuts to Antarctica, where Cypher and Letty have escaped. Because we forgot to talk about that they fight each other.
That didn't matter.
The black side didn't matter.
Yeah.
They were in prison. Like, that was part of
Brie Larson's plan to get them out.
she stabbed her to give her an injury to put her in the medical room with Cypher. So then Cypher had the whole time had been rigging without even being able to look at what she's rewiring.
She's just rewiring. She's just such a good of a hacker. Like, she can just type really fast on it and just basically is the extension of her will.
So she reversed like the
well, that's besides the point. It doesn't matter how they escaped.
But there was a point where there was like a 4-minute window for them to get through a vent.
Definitely more than 4 minutes.
Yeah, well, that's what she. Yeah, they had a 4-minute window to go up a vent and out, and that's when Letty goes, "Oh, plenty of time." She just starts fighting Cypher. Like, why don't you just wait till you're out, both out? Wait till you're like done with all this mess. Then you can go kill him.
I honestly thought Cypher was gonna die because when they're fighting with those lasers, I thought the lasers were gonna like hit her. That's what I was thinking. Because it was straight out of Die Another Day with those lasers. I was thinking, oh my god, something terrible's gonna happen.
But that's what I think this movie is, the technology.
Yeah, I know.
How much it's jumped.
MCU
it's literally
technology.
like it's like Godzilla vs Kong. Like it went from like King of the Monsters, which is like military grade weaponry.
Little dance.
Yeah, but it's nothing where you could be like, oh, the military was experimenting. It's stuff they're hiding.
Yeah.
To just like full Tron. Like,
I'd say it's full MCU.
Yeah, but
so then they escape the hatch in Antarctica, and then there's nothing around them. It's like just mountains and coldness, and then you see a giant submarine break the ice, and then lo and behold, Gal Gadot is there. Her character somehow survived from Fast 6 when she got left behind on the airport runway.
No one's ever really gone.
Yes, and then
that's where
the movie has an end title sequence.
That is.
It felt like a very James Bond movie.
Yeah.
But it was like recapping the movie. It was just so on the nose with the imagery.
Wait, especially Dante.
Yeah,
I wonder if that's what they called him, Dante.
Dante's Inferno.
Yeah.
Probably.
His descent into hell.
Probably, Craig. Would not surprise me.
I mean, they think they're clever, but we don't let them know.
We get our end credit title. No. We get our post credit scene, and it's The Rock. He's getting back in the.
I thought it was mid credit.
Well, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's the only end credit. And we get The Rock, baby. He's gonna join the action for Fast 11.
Yeah.
Well, what else is he doing now? We got kicked
Because
out of
Jason
out of Disney.
For some reason, him and his like FBI team like broke into this like abandoned like opera house, and there's
he calls him on his phone.
Yeah, he calls him and then tells him like about like you were there, and then shows him double tapping his father.
Which I'm probably gonna watch Fast 5 sometime soon.
Craig, stop that.
Stop what?
Doesn't matter. So and
The
Rock, out of desperation, because he got kicked from Disney for like some wild accusations.
And DC.
Well, DC fired him.
Yeah.
So he's crawling back like the wounded animal he is now.
After didn't he? Wasn't it verbatim? Didn't he call like Vin Diesel like or the people in the project when he left like candy asses? Or
Yeah, he said
like
something.
Like,
but then again, that was like in 2017. It's been 6 years.
These people, their egos are so big. I don't think they'd ever let it go.
Yeah, 100%.
They have to have like one shot of just all the jacked up guys like together, like just
like Civil War.
But they're all like sweating profusely and stuff.
You chose the wrong side.
Yeah, I just know that I think Thad will probably die in episode 11, and then episode 12, that's when Dante dies. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Calling it now, because now The Rock's going to get involved in this action, and they're going to involve Paul Walker somehow, some way. I just know it, because they had the See You Again beats playing in the beginning of the movie. And I was like, oh my god, they're not going to play the song, are they really?
Yeah.
They didn't. But
I think what they might do is they might do what they did at the end of 7, was it?
Yeah, they'll get one of his brothers.
They'll get one of his brothers to like.
His brothers aren't doing
maybe
much.
they'll do like the back of him or like the side profile of him.
No, I think he'll be full CG.
No, I was
Especially
thinking
how much
it's like.
better it's been. I mean, with like the deep fakes and stuff.
That's what I'm saying. It'll be full.
Didn't they
CG.
do that for like the Mandalorian? They like completely did a young Skywalker, like Luke Skywalker.
Yeah, I think it was a deep fake, right?
No, I think that one was CG. That wasn't deep fake.
Yeah, they had they had an actor or something. Like that,
they
right?
like CG'd over his face.
That's what I'm saying.
Deep fake is easier.
They'll probably get one of his brothers, and then they'll just CG it.
No, they'll deep fake him. I think deep faking looks better. They'll deep fake his brother, and now with the AI you can do with voices, you just get an interview with Paul Walker. You can make him say whatever you want. He's coming back. I'm telling you, he's going to be the hero, and whatever. If there's somehow a 12th movie, I think it's unconfirmed. He's going to save the day.
And he's going to show up being like, "Thought you could do this heist without saying goodbye."
Oh, I think 100% he's coming back.
Oh yeah. No, this franchise is completely shameless. This is the end. They're going to milk every cow they can.
As Craig was saying, no one's ever really gone. Well, that's half true in this franchise. People who die in real life are... It doesn't matter who dies in these movies. They always come back. Except like Jack Toretto, the father.
Well, I mean, everyone needs their... like Bruce Wayne's parents never come back, so...
That's true.
Yeah. Did his mom, was she ever in any other ones?
I don't think so.
That's why I was like, who is this lady?
Yeah. Because when she's like, oh, he would have been so proud. I was like, wait, is she talking about Paul Walker? Like,
I was like, who is she? I'm not a Fast and Furious, lore master, but I was confused to who she was.
Yeah, I didn't know who she was. But yeah, that was Fast X. It was amazing. I loved every minute of it. It was a little slow in the beginning, not gonna lie.
yeah.
But then it completely picks up, and it is ridiculous, to say the least.
There's no way that they can do another villain. They have to. They made Jason Momoa such a threat by himself. Like you have to.
They made him a threat by giving him an endless supply of like an army.
But again, it's the same thing over and over again. It just now I guess there's more. He has a son. There's like.
I mean, with the amount of families they've ruined, I guess you have an endless possibility.
I think at this point, he has more to lose, but nothing's really different.
Is Cypher going to join their family now?
I don't
There's
know.
no way Vin Diesel can forgive her.
Yeah, he literally capped Lena.
Well, she didn't do it, but she ordered the guy to do it.
Plus, also, didn't both Shaws worked for her? So, she's done more bad where I don't think you can really forgive it. Like, Jacob, I guess,
Did the Shaws didn't work for her?
I
don't think so.
No, they were their own entity.
Again, I'm not the lore master. I've forgotten a lot. So.
I'm trying to think. What was the Shaw brother?
No. One of the ones did work for her, right?
I don't remember in the 9th one what happened. I don't think Cypher was the villain in the 9th one, right? Because Jacob ends up working with them towards the end.
No, Jacob was the villain.
But towards the end, he works with them to stop them from doing something. Because they have to like jam a signal into space. That's why they go into space. They ram a car into a satellite. I don't forget that.
She was in the ninth one?
She was in that movie, but I think she was like...
Was Jacob, what? He was the villain in...
I think he was in the ninth one.
He was the villain, right?
Then towards the end, he becomes a good guy. I don't remember. I really don't.
God, I hate it. I hate the prospect.
It's like hurting my brain trying to remember it.
Those aren't important enough to remember. That's the thing.
I'll look it up.
I'll stat that.
Yeah. There's just...
I think she's too far gone to be part of their family. Like, she's done too many bad
apparently,
things.
neither like Statham was pretty far gone, and he still joined.
Well, I'm saying he's only bad in one movie. She's been bad in how many movies?
That's true, but before Han came back, he killed Han. Like before they decided to retcon that entirely.
True.
And he still joined their family after he killed Han.
Well, I don't know if he didn't really join, but I guess he's on better terms now.
Craig, he was at their penthouse in New York at the end for their dinner.
He was, but like he wasn't at other barbecues.
I don't know. It's just...
Yeah, he's the kind of family where you send like Christmas cards to, but you don't actually invite.
No, Jacob was the full villain.
But towards the end, he becomes...
Well, Dom spared him or something like that, and he could have killed him, but he spared him. And
no, I think towards the end they joined forces.
He teamed up with Cypher. Or no, Otto.
Who's that?
Otto. This is such a funny name.
Yeah, it was... So Jacob was doing all that stuff, I guess, doing all that stuff. Oh, he was like that rich guy. He had Cypher... Remember in the ninth where he had her like in that containment?
Oh, I was
he was that rich guy
like, in a prison.
Yeah, and then he had... It was him and Jacob was doing all his stuff for him, and then he revealed like he was working with Cypher the whole time.
Yeah.
So she was really the villain in 8 and 9, and then Jacob at the end like kind of realized like what happened.
Yeah, he teams up with Dom.
Yeah.
Because you don't turn your back on family.
Yes.
Because seven
you
was
family.
7 was Jason Statham and forget whatever that guy's name is.
Yeah, that was with God's Eye.
Yeah.
6 was The Endless Runway, where Gal Gadot dies, supposedly. 5 was the Rio. Yeah. I don't. Yeah.
I think it was just some drug dealer.
3 was that Tokyo Drift?
Yeah. I don't remember that. I've never seen that one. 2 I haven't seen, and then 1 they're booting like DVD players or something.
Yeah, they were like actual street racers and people.
Just like petty crimes.
Yeah.
Now they're saving the world,
flying into space,
blowing up Rome.
Because that was another cringy line where Ludacris said like Pete Davidson like, "Oh, he's an astronaut. He was in space," and Pete Davidson was like, you know,
they call him Black Babies.
Why? Do people actually think he's funny?
Yes.
Who?
Pete Davidson.
Yes.
He's in everything. They're like, who is this creepy guy?
He's on SNL, but like, is he, like what does he do that's funny?
Well, it's on SNL, so you know he's not funny.
He's just this awkward
he
guy
looks like
with
a sickly man.
He's just like an awkward guy, like with like.
Well, his cameo didn't bother me too much. It's just more of.
Well, his lines felt like they were like.
Well, yeah, but it just.
I do think this one line was funny. You're causing dozens of dollars in damage.
It's Tyrese. He is insufferable. He is so bad.
Yeah, he's bad. Han just stands there quiet. Ramsey is the...
Well, he's all sad because he doesn't have Wonder Woman.
Yeah. Well, now he does.
Oh, yeah, he will, but...
And then Ramsey, she's the hacker. She types really fast.
Almost broke her keyboard typing so fast.
Ludacris is like, he just knows everything.
I wonder what excuse they're going to use and how they brought back Gal Gadot.
Was like a secret, like an air mattress?
Yeah, I was thinking that too. In her jacket, she just hits it.
Well, no, or because she tackled the guy off of the thing. That, like, she pulled the guy off. Yeah. So I'm wondering if it's the same thing of, like...
I think she fell off by
No,
herself.
she fell off. I think she was holding on to something, and
someone's
she
gonna
jumped
kill
off.
Han.
She jumped off. And
She
then
shot the guy behind Han.
I remember that because it was like really stupid.
And then she's like disappeared.
I thought she like tackled someone and shot the person.
Someone's gonna attack Han.
Yeah, she jumped off and then shot.
You're
him.
gonna pull it up.
I have to.
We have to pull.
You don't have
Because
to.
no. Because
Don't play the audio.
if it what?
Don't
No,
play the
I'm not. But if it is how I think it is, they're gonna do like how Cypher like she landed on someone and it.
I think she was.
No. I remember this.
She was by herself.
Yeah, she jumped off backwards and shot the guy and basically fell on the tarmac.
That'd be like a pretty awkward conversation with her and Han, where he's like, I went to Tokyo because I was depressed because you died.
I've been depressed.
And I had to
since.
fake my death. But she doesn't know he faked his death.
Oh, do you think that'd be like the plot point? She thought, well, I heard you died. I was going to come back, but I heard you died. Because I thought you were dead, and you were dead.
And then it turns out they both die in episode 11, like for real.
It's like Jacob.
Yeah, she just went straight back
Yeah, I'm telling you.
for no reason. She could just held on and pulled the gun and shot.
Well, that's not dramatic enough.
People have to pretend to die to come back.
What is that?
Someone put Arnold's face over Dorothy from Wizard of Oz.
Is that recommended to you?
I don't know why that's on YouTube. It's just
That's recommended.
Yeah. You watching Arnold deepfakes?
But yes,
because I was watching Kindergarten Cop. They know.
Oh, right.
they're going to bring back Paul Walker. Who else could they bring back?
Well, see, it would help if I've seen more of these movies and I would remember parts of the movies. Do you think? I think the only person they won't bring back.
They'll bring back the other Shaw brother.
Yeah, they'll bring
could.
him back. Because this would be like their final push.
Because he somehow survives.
Yeah.
He was in the 8th one, too.
Yeah.
Like I said, Elena's not going to come back because, she was
She's
shot.
actually killed. Unless
she-
she'd come back.
Unless, I was in a coma for, years.
Yeah.
If she comes back, that would surprise me.
She'll come back, but with memory loss.
Oh, God.
Yeah, because Ratcatcher's probably going to be a bigger character in the new one after this one.
Well, define bigger, just more than,
She'll
2 minutes of
probably
screen time.
she'll join the family. Because that's her nephew now.
Yeah. Oh, do you think... Okay, so they kind of hint at this, where they were trying to have another child. Do you think they named their son Jacob?
Yes.
It's going to be another son,
Oh,
obviously.
yeah.
It's going to be
Yeah,
Jacob.
easily.
Yes.
Or is it a daughter and they name it Elena?
It's one of those two.
I think Jacob, because he named his one son Brian. Jacob. That's what I think they're going to do. Because The Rock has the daughter thing locked up, so he's going to have his son be different.
That's true.
That is true.
Yeah, he doesn't want to encroach on the Rock's territory.
I guess it's, you have to have him come crawling back to him. Let's not, scare him away.
Well, they both win. One actually gets a paycheck, and the other gets to milk out any opportunity he can.
Wait, which one's which?
We're not so different, you and I.
I'm excited to see what they do with the 11th one. It's a shame we have to wait 2 years.
But I thought they
I'm
filmed
more-
it back to back. What do
I
you
don't think they
mean?
did.
I thought I saw.
See, I'm just more confused how they're going to turn this into a trilogy. 2 movies I can get.
Well, I don't know if that's been confirmed yet, because I know they mentioned it, but I don't know if it's officially a trilogy.
Well, he hinted at, he essentially did the whole.
It'll probably be a
Oh,
trilogy.
I don't want to tell you a secret, but he's dying.
If this makes a lot of money, over $1 billion,
yeah.
there's definitely going to be a trilogy.
But even
What else is Vin Diesel going to do? He's done with Groot.
Well, you really played Groot.
Yeah. Played.
Yeah, but it's the same thing of Sylvester Stallone doing King Shark. It's how many millions of dollars they get to just say a few lines.
Well, it definitely doesn't make money, but it's not like it's
He had lines. Instead of saying, I'm Groot.
they could honestly just they don't have to hire him anymore. They could just use AI to voice him.
Yeah, I mean they really could. It's their property.
It's not like he says anything. You just say different inflections of I.
Wait, is he actually done with Groot?
I don't think he is, because I know we didn't see Guardians 3, but I know how it ends, and he could easily still be playing Groot.
Yeah. I mean, he could literally play that until he dies.
Yeah, it's just such an easy role.
Yeah.
You just show up for a couple hours to say, I'm Groot.
Do you need to show for a few hours? I know, Rocket, you get to show for maybe a day or two. For Groot, I think it's what's the session? 2 hours, and then you get to go home.
Tell you. Nothing crazy.
What's voice acting? You show up, say a few lines, you go home.
Well, because I saw off topic, but behind the scenes, I think Jarvis voiced all of his lines for the first Iron Man like in 2 hours or something. Yeah. Like, it was very quick, and show up, say your lines, you go home.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, I don't know how they're gonna stretch it up to 12 movies because, especially how this one ends. It's like, well, is the 11th one gonna end like this too, or is it just like a big cliffhanger?
You know what I'd love to see at this point? Have aliens show up. Why not? Like, all of them are fighting, and they realize, you know what? We gotta be one big... Humans are one big family when aliens show up.
Nah, I don't think they'll go that far. They'll go pretty far. They'll go pretty far, but not that.
Racing in a spaceship.
Yeah.
For some reason, like a stupid car, it's got like the stick shift and the spaceship.
The thing about space racing, space always wins.
Yeah, I don't know what they're going to do, as we're saying.
Well, I want to pull up this quote because I feel like it applies to what we're talking about. Diesel also confirmed the 11th film will be the main installment, maybe, saying, what gets harder about the films is the work off-screen. Think about expanding. It's hard to continue mythologies. There's a reason of why Tolkien stopped writing for a while.
He's got a point there, Craig.
Vin Diesel's quote comparing his dumb street racing movies to one of the greatest works of the 20th century.
Got a point.
I just want to say it. I think he's got an ego.
I think he's got a point.
I don't think that's... I think it's blasphemy. I'm going to continue the Christian allegories they keep bringing up.
I just... Like I said, they're going to be writing themselves into a wall. It's like, what else can you really...
They drive through the wall, then.
Yeah, okay, that's true. What else are you really going to do?
They haven't taken the cars driving on water.
Don't give them ideas.
More flying cars, and we thought we were going to get that.
I mean, like, this movie's almost 2.5 hours. Is the next one going to be like 2.5 hours?
I guess.
And if they do a third one, is that one going to be 2.5 hours?
Yeah,
too?
it's like, what are you going to do to pad the runtime?
Unless they're...
How do people want to get revenge against the Toretto family?
Yeah,
I think they're going to cover all the films they've done before. But I think in the first one, they killed all those people. The Johnny Tran clan.
They're too small. Like, they're small fish.
I think if anything, for the second one, I think that it might take more of become the main villain. Like, they kill him. Then in the third one, they deal with Jason Momoa once and for all.
That would make sense. Jason Momoa is like an afterthought in the second one. In episode 11 and then episode 12.
Well, Mr. Nobody. You think he comes back? Because they hint at his disappearance in the 9th one. Like, they just completely, like... They keep saying he's gone.
I don't think Kurt Russell wants to come back.
But they keep saying that he's gone. Like, they didn't say he retired. Like, they said he's gone, he's missing, we don't know where he is. Which leads me to believe they're going to bring that up at some point.
What if he betrays them?
I don't think so.
Oh, yeah. It wouldn't make any sense, but...
Why is he missing them? But, he's probably... Maybe that's where Scott Eastwood went. He's going to find Mr. Nobody.
I don't know.
He essentially just made a cameo in this.
It's like, it's not, how we saw Infinity War, we're like, oh, what are they going to do next? Like, in excitement. I have that same kind of feeling, but it's in the sense of, what are they going to do next? I want to see how much dumber it gets.
Yeah.
How low can they bring themselves?
Yeah, because this one is pretty ridiculous. I think we're talking about, Daniel and I, but this is our favorite one.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know if you could top Hobbs and Shaw.
Hobbs and Shaw was probably the most we laughed at in the theater because that was hilarious.
That one to me might just top it because you got like these two idiots. The Rock's ego is just out of control as usual.
Yeah.
Especially the skyscraper scene where he jumped.
Skyscraper, these women are throwing themselves at him for some reason.
The Rock is just amazing, Craig.
At what?
Yes.
Like I said, I want there to be aliens. At this point, just go, how about a multiverse? Everything's multiverse now. Let's have a Fast and Furious multiverse.
Fast and Furious Generations.
Well, it's basically, Little B's going to be taken over. Do you think, like, in 20 years, we'll have, like, Little B being, like, the star of a Fast and Furious movie?
Do you think, wait, do you think, because it's Hobbs and Shaw, he was in Hobbs and I think Ryan Reynolds makes a cameo again?
I hope not.
Colin's favorite actor?
I hope not. I hope he doesn't show up.
No, I don't know if he will, but I definitely think, like we said, Paul Walker's going to show up. I think at some point.
I think that's guaranteed.
I also think Statham's sister from Hobbs and Shaw shows up.
I'm surprised she wasn't in this movie.
I think she'll show up for the next one.
I think
because Statham, they ran off, so
right.
They went into hiding, so they.
I think that whatever 11th or 12th, whatever the end battle is, it's going to be the Avengers of the Fast and Furious.
But it's going to be just a line of cars charging at each other.
Yes,
that'd be hilarious. Like on like some really long bridge,
and he just says, "Family assemble."
Like portals appear.
I got friends. I got family.
No, it's not portals, Craig. You just see like an airplane just fly by, and you just see a bunch of cars just landing on the bridge.
Wait, were you rewatching your historian videos where? Watch the Alien Area 51 video where the airplane comes and they drop all like the G fuel or whatever. It's like that. It's like, oh.
But could you imagine they do that where all the cars are getting airdropped, and then it becomes realistic for a second. As soon as the car hits, they just die. Everyone starts dying.
No, see, I want them to show up, but like the cars flying. That'd be great. Flying cars.
Do you think they'll bring back the other guy? He was in Fast 9.
Who?
From Tokyo Drift.
Yeah, what happened to that crew? Like they.
Oh yeah, it's Lucas Black. Those other two guys.
Yeah, their crews like they're.
What happened to the little girl that was important in Fast 9?
Yeah, with Han. She might come
his
back.
daughter?
No, he was like protecting her.
That's how he faked his death.
I don't know. Whatever he says. They're close.
Yeah.
Wait, why was he taking care of that girl?
I don't remember. I can't tell you.
It doesn't matter.
I think it had something to do with where her DNA was imprinted on the device because it was split in half. She had one piece, I think. I don't remember.
Yeah, convenient.
Would you be surprised if the last time I seen these movies was in theaters? Would you be surprised if I said that?
It's the same thing for me.
No, I don't remember.
Yeah, watch them repeat.
I mean, I do own them, but I'm not gonna.
That's shameful.
It is pretty shameful. I did recently buy all them on Blu-ray.
Why do you do this to yourself?
Yeah.
Makes your collection like worth less.
It does. Yeah, like I said, we're curious what they're going to do next, but I don't think we have much else to say, right?
I have high hopes for them, though.
Ironically.
They keep getting better and better.
Yeah. Even though I think it has like a 50-something on Rotten Tomatoes right now. That's never stopped them.
Well, it's also made tons of money, too, so far, so...
Let's see how much it's made real quick. I'm stat-batting that.
Because, yeah, this is opening weekend, so, we're not going to get accurate numbers.
It has a 54% right now. Not too bad. Its budget, $340.
Oh, God.
It's made $320 right now, or $318.
Like, I want to compare, like, the budgets, like, of the very first one to compare to this one, like... How much it's like exponentially increased.
So Wikipedia says a sequel is scheduled to be released in 2025, while another installment is currently in development.
So it is confirmed.
Because I wasn't like, because one interview he said only 2 parts and then 3 whatever. So the very first Fast and Furious movie, the budget was $38 million. And now it's $340 million.
The Fast and the Furious.
Yeah, Fast and Furious is the 4th one, you goon.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, the original one's called The Fast and the Furious. Oh wait, did they? Who was Dom's one friend, Vince or whatever?
Well, he died in the 5th one.
Did he?
Yeah, he bled out in front of them.
No one's ever really gone.
Oh my! You imagine for the final charge though, it's not cars, but each of them just have like crowbars and wrenches, and it's just a giant street fight. I would be so pumped.
I would not be, but this is so stupid. I would not be surprised.
Bless you. Ugh. For the final one, I will wear a tank top in honor.
How noble of you.
go buy some mechanic shirt.
Okay, so I'm looking through the Wikipedia. Apparently, someone reprised their role in Fast 5 from Too Fast, Too Furious, Eva Mendes.
I never seen that one, so I wouldn't know.
Well, maybe she'll come back.
I mean, why not?
The more the merrier.
But yeah, like I said, we're calling it. Paul Walker is the hero of the last installment. He's going to deliver the final blow. They're too on the nose. They're too obvious to not do something like that.
Yeah.
They'll definitely do it.
Oh, yeah.
And then Paul would drive off in the sunset.
Well, yeah, Fast 9's budget was $200 million. This one's $340. Like, where's the money going?
Come out at the end of the sunset, he just vanishes like Luke.
Oh my god. That'd be pretty tasteless.
Yeah, the highest rated movie was Furious 7, but I think it's because of Paul Walker dying.
Yeah.
100% was.
I think people say the fifth one's the best.
I was thinking that today. I was like, it actually was
second highest.
I was actually saying, I was like, it actually was not that bad. Like,
I still haven't seen it, but
it's pretty ridiculous, especially with the because I would argue this case. The fifth one was probably the last decent actual movie, but it pole vaulted. What?
You take that back.
But it pole vaulted what we have now because that was the one that introduced the bank scene. So then once you start defying things, like just ripping out
bank vaults with two cars.
Yeah, the back of those cars would have been ripped.
You think they're?
It's not like they got two military trucks to pull it out. They're like two Chargers.
Yeah, I know.
You think their bumper can hold that?
Yeah, and also if that bank vault, like when it was sliding around the bridge, I would have just pulled their cars with it.
Yeah.
But so that one is really responsible for what Fast and Furious has become, because then after that,
the other ones are just street races, and that one became a heist film.
And then the bank vault, and then in 6 you had the never-ending runway, and 7 you had that bus scene where Paul Walker runs up the bus.
Oh, I was thinking too. Wasn't
like
7,
Legolas?
7 wasn't that the one where they go to the buildings in Dubai?
Yeah, they fly cars out of those buildings.
Never keep a beast locked in the cage. Yeah, and then 8 was God's Eye.
7 was God's Eye too.
Well, which one was the Rock crashing the ambulance into the drone, flexing out of his cast?
Yeah.
And then Vin Diesel curb stomps.
That was the 7th one.
And then he drives the car into the helicopter.
And he's okay, but apparently Jacob dies.
Was 7? No, 6 was when he caught Letty.
Yeah, he
and went into another car.
And crashed on the car. Very ridiculous stuff. I think we'll have to review all these movies at one point or another.
Do we have to?
I think so. It's only fitting.
It was in number 9. They had that convoy that kept going, like the bomb in this one.
I'm trying to remember.
They had that armored truck.
I don't remember. I can't tell you. That's why we have to rewatch all of them and review them.
Do we though?
Yes.
Jeez, Furious 7 made $1.5 billion. Jeez.
Well, it's because of Paul Walker died.
Yeah, but then the number 8 made $1.2 billion.
That's because people are curious how they're going to go on without Paul Walker, probably.
This one will probably make over $1 billion.
I hope not.
I hope so.
I think we're running out of gas a little bit, so no pun intended.
Stop it.
Any final thoughts, boys, on Fast X?
It's great.
Craig?
This is what cinema is now.
Yeah, I loved it. I know Craig didn't. I loved it for all the wrong reasons.
You and I.
Yeah. If you easily get upset by ridiculous things in movies, don't watch it. That's all I could say.
I'm not upset. It's just that it's bad.
It's pretty bad. But it's funny at the same time.
Go in thinking it's a comedy movie and you'll enjoy it.
Yes. Well, we've been in the Unbiased Opinion where everyone's opinion is biased except ours. I'm Colin.
I'm Craig.
And I'm Daniel.